Yo, what's up, guys? It's me, Zeladon here, and today I'm going to give you a video where we talk about how to raise your power level as quickly and efficiently as possible, even though I'm definitely not doing it very efficient myself, but at least I know what you should be doing, and I can try to explain to you guys what you should and should not be doing. Okay, so don't mind me doing a side quest in the background while we talk about this. But okay, first things first. Let's just go down like the list here. Of course, gear, the basics: green, blue, purple. Purple is the best gear. I think there probably will be orange gear in the future, but I haven't seen any in the game yet. So, starting off, yeah, you want to try to get as much purple gear as you possibly can get, but of course, if you have like a level 30 purple item, sometimes a level like 40, 43 blue item will be better than the lower level purple item. And of course, you can take the stats from that purple item and transfer it to your new blue item if needed. We'll go into detail on that a bit more in a moment. But yeah, first the basics. Um, these items down here, the badge, the cape, and the tabard. These items, I believe, well, actually, you can get them from some dungeons and some quests, but mostly the main place you're going to be getting those items, and those are probably three items that a lot of people are missing out on. But you need to be in a guild. You go to guild made, and then you can make the cape, the tabard, and the badge. They have a small chance of being blue and a very rare chance of coming out purple. So I spend pretty much all of my contribution points on these, and I've managed to get all of mine purple. And then even once you do get them to purple, they only roll with one stat each usually. Do I have enough to make one right now? No, not really. I'm working on my 47 badge right now, even though I'm not 47 yet. But that's what I'm working on right now. So yeah, we'll go into the details on the stats in a moment. The next thing you want to be doing outside of gear, well, I mean, it is involved in gear, is putting the gems in your gear. So gems are very, very important. First of all, you want to figure out which ones you want to focus on for your class. You will get, like, if, say, for example, I'm a shaman, my main stat is intelligence, but I do get strength gems sometimes. I do get agility gems sometimes, and don't don't use those. Just go ahead and sell any agility and strength gems that you get. If they're not your main stat, just stick with your main stats. Stamina is good for every class, and crit, I believe, is also good for every class. Also, but if you're a tank, you probably want to go with block as your blue gems. So yeah, and then leveling the gems up, of course. So what you probably not probably what you definitely want to spend most of your silver on is leveling up your gems, because it's just so important to level up your gems. Not only do you get the extra stats from leveling up individual gems, but as you see up here, level up all your gems, like 5 gems to level 4, you get 20% HP and 20% attack. Once you get to 15 gems to level 4, 22 and 22. So this actually starts at like level 1 or level 2. As soon as you start putting in gems, you start getting um, these passive buffs with like 2%, then 2%, 4%, 4%, and so on as you start to keep leveling and leveling up. So you want to level up all your gems evenly and not try to, just level up one gem to level 4 right away. You want to level them up all evenly, make them all level 2, and then once they're all level 2, start on going to getting them all to level 3. Once they're all level 3, go to level 4, and so on. And that is a huge, huge, huge portion of your stats that is very easy to control. And if you do level up a gem, like say you decide, I don't really want crit, I'd rather have penetration or something, you can just sell the gem for the same amount that you spent on leveling it up. Yeah, once you get to level 3, it gets really expensive. 340,000 to take a level 3 to level 4. It is not cheap. But that's why you want to be saving and using your silver mostly on gem leveling. Okay, moving on. Skills, of course, you want to upgrade your skills. I think we don't really need to explain that. Enchanting. Enchanting is really expensive. I don't really even do that much enchanting myself quite yet. If you have the means to do it, then do it. Um, let's go look at the enchanting real quick. Definitely do a weapon. I do my weapon every week. Um, but the other stuff you don't really need to. But I mean, it is a stat boost. You do get a lot of good stats from doing the enchanting. It's just yes, it's really hard to get the amount of dust you need. To get 50 dust, you need to basically have disenchanted at least 5 high level items or like 10, 15 lower level items. So it's not cheap. And some of the enchantments aren't very useful for all classes. For example, as a healer, all of the jewelry enchantments are penetration. You don't really need penetration as a healer, so you can basically ignore the jewelry enchantments and go for just weapon and armor enchantments. But yeah, as you can see, I'm only using 3 enchantments right now. It's really expensive to do this stuff. Um, it's probably going to be something you're mostly going to be waiting till later on in the game to focus on. But if you do have the means and the money to do it, then do it. It's definitely a really good defense and attack boost that you can get from these. Nothing to really ignore. You shouldn't really ignore that. Definitely do your weapon every week. It kind of sucks because the enchantments only last for a week. I wish there were like some sort of permanent enchantments that you can get, but yeah, that's the way it is for now, unfortunately. Okay, and then I guess we can start getting into the details now about quenching, because this is probably and of course familiars. We mentioned this in the familiars video, but we'll mention it one more time. Familiars are probably, if not, I guess it's hard to say. I think it's probably the second most um, important feature to power leveling up. It gives I like you just get so many stats from familiars. Like all these stats go straight into your stats. So familiars are very, very important, of course. So try to, feed all your familiars as much as you can. Again, same sort of thing with gems. Like if you do feed one familiar all the way up and you decide you don't like it anymore, you can just do revive and you get all the stuff that you fed into that familiar back. So it's not like a one-way investment. It's not a huge deal. So yeah, use all your stuff, level up all your stuff. Awakening is the one that will increase your stats the most. And yeah, so if you need any more information about that, you can go ahead and watch the familiar videos that I've made. There's 2 separate ones, one for all the basic familiar stuff, and then I have a separate video for talking about astral array by itself, because that's just a whole nother story right there. Okay, so now quenching. First of all, let's rename it, because quenching is kind of a silly name for it. Let's call it absorbing or infusing. Let's call it absorbing. I think absorbing is a better word for it. So quenching, also known as absorbing. So a lot of people probably kind of overlook this. They might look at their gear. Maybe you have all purple gear and you think, oh, my gear is fine. But you don't really go in here and look at all your stats. So stats also have different rarity levels. You have white stats, which is the worst, green, which is the second worst, blue, which is okay, and then purple, which is the best. So once you get an item, unless you're extremely lucky, you're probably not going to have 4 stats all purple. This is my only weapon, my only item that I have all 4 stats that are purple. So that means, say you do get a really good purple drop, it's probably not going to have all purple stats. So you're going to be wanting to get that drop over and over. Every time you get that drop, you have a, you have a chance at rolling a random stat. That stat can be green, blue, white, or purple. So this is the really long, and this is where I'm like really lacking because oh man, look at this. I have two white stats on my robe, a green and a blue, so I really need a new robe. This is where I've been really lacking because I've been really lazy about doing my dungeons, and I probably should be around like 110,000 power, but I'm only at 94,000 because I'm really bad with trying to get gear. But this is also where trade skills come in. You don't really need to do dungeons to get the best gear and the best stats. You can also go into you can go and craft your own gear and craft the same sort of items over and over till you get a purple roll or something like that. Let me see. Do I have enough to craft anything right now? Let's head to the bank and we'll try to craft a few things and just to show you. So, most items that you craft and even most items that you get from drops will only drop with one stat on them. So the first thing you actually want to do is go into your inventory and look at all uh, your weapons and your armor, and make sure everything has four random stats. If it doesn't have four random stats, then you just need to make something with of that slot to get a free random stat on there. So I think all my stuff has four random stats already, so that's like at least I'm okay there. Most of it doesn't have purples though, so I have like a long way to go on my stat absorbing. So for example, yeah, we saw that my robe has two white stats, which is kind of crappy. Um, let's go to the bank here real quick and get some trade skill stuff out. If I have any. All I have is see. Okay. This is another thing. I started out doing alchemy, and I wish I would have started out doing tailoring because one, you can make your own bags. Two, you can also make your own gear upgrades. So yeah, it appears that I actually don't have anything. Oh, I have some stuff in my inventory. Okay, I could use a blue roll on my pants since I have a white roll there. A blue or a green would be better. So let's make some pants. So yeah, basically what you do is go through, look at all your stats. If you see white or if you see something that has less than four stats, then you want to go and either craft that if you can or buy it on the auction house, buy that slot on the auction house and see if you can get a stat from it to quench. Okay, let's see. See if we get lucky here. We did get lucky. We got a blue stamina stat. So there you go. And we get a little bit of boost from that. No, thank you. Let's go ahead and replace the. I think I'll replace the magic defense. I have tons of magic defense. So I replaced a. I probably. I mean, like the intelligence. It's a white stat, but I mean it's intelligence. It's an important stat. So and magic defense is not so important. So this is where you can also, yeah, it may not increase your power level as much as something else, but this is where you can also get kind of nitpicky and be like, well, yeah, my power level doesn't go up, but power level doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean everything. I mean, power level is just the sum of all your stats, but some stats are more important than others, and having a little bit more a lower power level isn't such a bad thing if it means you have more important stats. Same thing like in World of Warcraft. Like sometimes you have lower item level items that have tons and tons of haste. If haste is like your main stat on your character, then like a 50 item level lower item can actually be an upgrade if haste is like a really good stat for your class. So same kind of thing comes into play here. But for the most part, you just want to go for the higher color. Okay, I think we covered everything. Let me look at this again real quick. Skills, gear, quench, gem, enchantments, familiars. Yeah, we covered everything. So yeah, the main thing that I think a lot of people overlook is the item stat quenching or absorbing. Um, just make sure and go and look at all your items. There's definitely going to be something that's either going to be green or blue, maybe even white that you can improve, or you might even have items that don't even have all four stat slots filled up. So the first thing you want to do is fill up all four stat slots on all of your gear items, and then after that, go through and start trying to get better rolls, like better rarity rolls. It's a really long grind, and but this is the end game, like getting better rolls on these, and also leveling up your familiars. Getting better stat rolls and leveling up familiars is basically what the end game is all about, as far as I can see. And that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna be putting out a new video for the 100 subscribers. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it so much. And we'll see you next time with the next video. Don't forget to hit all those subscribe and all those buttons below the description. And we'll see you next time. Hope you had a good weekend. Peace. I need to get a new skin for my shaman, don't I? I'm not a big fan of red, to be honest, but it seems like all the shaman skins are. Okay, that's the end of the video. I'm still over here babbling. Laters.